Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into generative AI. It's one of the most powerful and, let's be honest, maybe one of the most disruptive technologies out there right now. You've probably felt it, right? You've seen the headlines, you've maybe even played around with some of the tools that have just exploded onto the scene. This isn't just another little tech update. It feels like a genuine, seismic shift. And if you want to put a number on that shift, well, here it is. Our source from McKinsey estimates that generative AI could pump up to $4.4 trillion into the global economy every single year. I mean, to put that in perspective, that's more than the entire economy of the United Kingdom. It's just a staggering figure. So what is this engine, really? What's going on under the hood that's making all of this possible? Okay, let's break it down. You've definitely seen these names before. These are the platforms that can whip up an essay, create unbelievable images from just a few words of text, or even write computer code for you. But they're more than just clever apps. They're really the first wave of a brand new capability for machines. And this is not just about novelty. This is serious business. You can see here that about 3/4 of all that economic value is packed into just 4 main areas: improving customer operations, supercharging marketing and sales, innovating in R&D, and of course, software engineering. So let's start by digging into that incredible number, the $4.4 trillion revolution, and really understand the scale of what's happening. To get why this is happening now, you have to look at the technology itself. For a long time, older AI models read text kind of like we're reading this slide, one word at a time, in a sequence. But that created a huge bottleneck. They were slow, and they'd often forget the beginning of a long sentence by the time they got to the end. They just couldn't hold on to the context. But then, back in 2017, a research paper introduced a totally new way of doing things. It's an architecture called the transformer. And this is the secret sauce that changed everything. And the absolute core idea inside the transformer is something called a self-attention mechanism. Now, instead of reading word by word, this lets the model look at an entire sentence all at once. It can instantly see how every word relates to every other word, creating this incredibly rich web of context, just like our brains do. So how does that actually work? Well, in a nutshell, for every single word, it creates a few things. A query, which is like the word asking a question. A key, which is like a label on all the other words. And a value, the actual substance of the word. Then it just calculates a score for how well each word's question matches every other word's label. It's a bit like a popularity contest for relevance, and it lets the AI know exactly which words to pay the most attention to. And that one technical idea, that new way for AI to understand context, well, it was like a dam breaking. It unleashed this massive wave of new applications, touching everything from writing code to teaching in classrooms. I mean, the sheer range of applications is just mind-boggling. You can see it right here. It spans from these really technical, scientific pursuits like discovering new drugs, all the way to things that are deeply personal and creative, like composing music or practicing a new language. And this quote here, this really shows you how sophisticated we're talking. It's not just about making new stuff. It's about automating really complex analysis. Think about it. AI can now score a student's essay, a task that we always thought required a uniquely human kind of understanding and nuance. It's also becoming this sort of virtual expert that can sit on your shoulder. Take Morgan Stanley. They're using GPT-4 to sift through a gigantic internal library of financial data to give their wealth managers answers in an instant. And this connects back to that bigger economic picture. Our sources estimate this technology could automate tasks that take up 60 to 70% of a knowledge worker's time, freeing them up for, more important work. Of course, with all this incredible power comes some pretty heavy responsibility. This explosion in what AI can do forces us to ask some really critical and, frankly, very tricky questions. As these tools get woven deeper and deeper into the fabric of our society, the central challenge becomes crystal clear. How do we make sure that these things we're building aren't just powerful, but are also safe, reliable, and actually aligned with human values? Now, some companies are tackling this problem head-on in pretty interesting ways. For example, the company Anthropic is building its AI, named Claude, on what they call a constitution. It's basically a set of core principles, like the ones you see here, that are meant to guide the AI's behavior right from its foundations. And that's just one approach to a whole universe of ethical challenges. This list gives you a sense of what the entire industry is grappling with, from trying to weed out biases that get baked into the training data, to protecting our privacy, to making sure these powerful tools don't get used for malicious purposes. So we're really at the beginning of a new era. And it leaves us with this final, really provocative question to think about. As AI gets better and better at doing the things we thought only humans could do, analyzing, creating, reasoning, what's left that is uniquely and valuably human? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.